Hey friends, it's Sabrina's birthday in 2 days, and she has asked for a unicorn birthday. And before I left the house, she told me, goodbye, you look like garbage. So, I'm sorry if I look like garbage. Maybe she meant my face, which is mostly covered now.
It's probably your hair.
Maybe. Okay, on to the unicorns. This was the first unicorn sighting which Carmen saw. Do I want to spend $9 on a stuffed animal head on a stick? Yes, I do. Do we know where we're going to keep it? No. Is it going to annoy us every day of our lives until we get rid of it in secret? Yes. Grab it. Don't grab it by the horn, you sicko. Simple truth. Proud of what's not in our food. Flavor? Is that what's not in your food? Do they make those horrible pine cones that don't smell like cinnamon and instead make me feel like I'm dying? For real, oh my gosh. Oh, those smell so bad. Holiday scented pine cones. You guys, these aren't cinnamon. They smell so bad. Oh my gosh, I wish I could share this horrible smell with you for just a moment so you could know the suffering. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm dying. Okay. They better have bikes here. I'm looking for a bike for Sabrina so I can tell her all winter long that it's too cold to go outside and actually teach her how to ride it, and that it is also too rainy. But if Eric does get to come home for Christmas, we'll make him do it because he's in really good shape from being in Army. He won't have anything better to do when he gets home. Dreamer. What age is that for? Ages 3 to 5. It's a little too small, actually. Do they have anything bigger? The Frozen bike is probably for the same.
These bikes are expensive.
Oh my gosh.
For like $150.
She does still like Frozen, but that's expensive. I'd rather get her something that will last a little bit longer. Okay, I just called my husband and had him measure her so I knew which size to get, and Carmen found this unicorn bike helmet. We'll see how long she thinks that's cool for. We're getting the funfetti cake mix for her unicorn cake. Well, if you guys feel like Sabrina's being spoiled and that I'm buying her too many things because it's 2020 and she can't have a party and I have mom guilt, you would be correct. We got her churro cereal. And she loves these pomegranate dark chocolate candies. Don't tell her it's dark chocolate because she says she hates dark chocolate, but she loves these. I keep knocking things over with my cart because I forget the bike is down there. Okay, before we head home and before I forget, I just wanted to tell you a story that I just told Carmen that made her laugh really hard. So we're already listening to the Christmas station, which started playing Christmas music on November 1st. And I was telling her that when I was a teenager, you know, we didn't have the internet and stuff. So when we got together, we would do things like, let's call the radio station, try to get them to play our song. And there was one segment where it was typically romantic songs dedicated to the one you love. And so my friend Mary Ellen Well, I'm not sure if she watches my channel or not, so just in case, we'll call her Mary Schmelin. Mary Schmelin felt like she had to make up a story about her husband in order for the DJ to play the song. And I don't remember which song she was dedicating. It might have been The Greatest Love of All, or I don't know, something in that genre. So Mary Ellen decided to dedicate the song to her fake sick husband named Tom. Did I call her Mary Ellen or Mary Schmelin?
Schmelin.
Okay, Mary Schmelin decided to dedicate the song to her sick husband named Tom. And she told the DJ, I want to dedicate this song to my husband Tom, who's sick with cancer. And she wasn't prepared for the DJ to ask her any questions about it. And the lady felt really bad. She said, oh my, I'm so sorry. What kind of cancer does he have? And she said, heart cancer. I don't remember if she laughed at that point, but we didn't think the lady would play the song. But a while later she said, this song is dedicated to Tom, who is apparently very ill. I bet she got this kind of stuff all the time. But yeah, that story makes me laugh my butt off. So we're gonna head home now, and we're gonna hide the presents in the garage because Sabrina doesn't hang out in there, especially when it's cold. And then my husband, possibly one of my sons, will have the job of putting the bike together because I'll probably do it wrong, and plus I don't want to do it. And I'm going to be baking things, and baking is actually not really my favorite thing either, especially trying to get the cakes level and stuff. Last time I used some store-bought cake mix, I ended up having to start over and find a cake to make from scratch, which turned out much better, but I just kind of wasn't in the mood to do it. But I did, and that was for my husband's birthday. Sorry I look like garbage, everyone.
You look fine.
Okay.
Put my Santa hat back on.
I'm feeling a little garbagey because we ate at Jack in the Crack. What? I was very pleased that they remembered not to put mayonnaise on my burger. I always have to specify ketchup and mustard, no mayo. And the mayo thing is even worse when I'm pregnant. Okay, that makes it sound like I'm going to get pregnant again. I'm not going to get pregnant again. But back when I did get pregnant repeatedly, mayonnaise was even more disgusting than it is normally. And there was this time we went through the drive-thru at Jack in the Crack, and I was so hungry, and I ordered one of their breakfast sandwiches, which was my pregnant food. That was a sausage croissant-wich. Actually, they don't call it croissant-wich, they call it, I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. And on the way home, I started gagging. And this was when I was pregnant. Oh, with Carmen. I remember that because Andrew was little and said, Mommy throws up a lot. So on the way home, I started gagging because I could smell warm lettuce with mayo. That combination is so horrible. And so my husband goes, what's wrong? And I go, warm lettuce and mayo. Warm lettuce and mayo. And he goes, no, I got the burger that doesn't have any lettuce or mayo. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. It has warm lettuce and mayo. And when we got home, he opened it up and there it was. And he said, sorry. And I couldn't eat my food, and I went and hid in the bathroom for a good while, and I ran some bubble baths so I could just smell, it may have been like lavender or something. I just had to smell something else other than that. So if you want to hear more horrible pregnancy stories, I have lots of them. And yet one time when I was pregnant with Carmen, I threw up and it gave me a black eye. So let me know if you want to hear that story, because it's also pretty romantic. I'll just tell it right now, I guess. So my husband and I went out That's right. I spent all day doing our taxes. It took much longer than expected, and I went way too long without eating. My parents had the boys, and that gave me the opportunity to do our taxes in peace. And then my husband worked kind of late, so we decided to go out for Mexican food. And at first it was going okay. And the way I was when I was pregnant was sometimes I could eat, but as soon as I got full, like everything was disgusting. Like even what I just ate was disgusting. So someone at the next table over had some wine and I could smell it. It was actually pretty far away, but I could smell it and it was really disgusting to me. And so I asked my husband, is it okay if I go wait in the car while you pay the bill? I need to go out to the car. And of course he was fine with that. And this was a date night for us, just a great time without the boys. And then we went to Blockbuster. Remember back in the good old days where you had to go to a store to rent a movie? Yeah, so we went to Blockbuster, and most smells were revolting to me, but I ended up behind a smoker. And when I was pregnant with Eric, we had people who smoked below us, and I was really sick that whole time we lived there. Like, that was my first clue that I was pregnant, was I got a whiff of the cigarette smoke in the morning, and I immediately threw up. And my husband said, "Why are you throwing up?" And I said, "I don't know." But deep down I did know. So anyway, my whole circle around Blockbuster was right behind this guy, and I quickly picked out the movie Dan in Real Life that has Steve Carell. That's actually a pretty funny movie, and I haven't seen it in forever. And he finally left, and when I got to the counter, the cashier went, "Hi." And she had major smoker's breath, and I was so close to throwing up. I was trying so hard. Luckily, I didn't throw up in the Blockbuster, but the whole drive up the hill back to our apartment, I was, not gonna throw up. And then I realized my mouth tastes like onions. And that was one of those flavors that I couldn't handle while I was pregnant, but I also couldn't handle brushing my teeth very well. But I did it every day, but every single time I brushed my teeth, I almost threw up. So we get inside, and I am having the worst dilemma of my life. Do I keep the onion taste in my mouth, or do I risk brushing my teeth? Onion or toothbrush? Onion or toothbrush? The onion got very overwhelming, so I brushed my teeth. Warning, vomit story ahead, in front of my husband, and then I immediately threw up in the sink. One of my first thoughts was, that was the biggest waste of money. Spent all this money at the Mexican restaurant, and then I throw up my dinner. It was so gross. And when I did it, I felt this horrible pressure in my face. It hurt so bad. Just the whole mask area. And then I felt a little better after that, so I just decided to lay down in the bed. My husband went and took a shower. And then we decided to lay in bed and watch Dan in Real Life. When he got in bed, yes, I said, "Is that the same shirt you were wearing in the restaurant?" "Yeah." "Will you take it off?" But he had fajitas, and those were like sizzling when they came to the table, so the onion smell. was on it. But when I blogged about this, I made it sound like it was like this night of seduction. And then I was all, hey baby, will you take your shirt off? I talked about the vomiting being like a mating call. And yeah, so he took his shirt off. He may have put on another one. I don't remember. It was not a romantic night. And we watched Dan in real life. And that was actually the one time I actually threw up while I was pregnant with her. I was just constantly on the verge of doing so. Oh, until labor. I always throw up during labor too. So that's, a lot of people don't realize that you throw up during labor. Or that some women throw up during labor. So there was this one time I was in labor with Eric. I was just on the verge of throwing up. I went into the bathroom. The feeling passed. And as soon as I walked out, there was my sister biting into a donut. And I immediately turned around and went back in and threw up. But they say you actually progress faster when you're a puker during labor. That wasn't necessarily my experience, but I'd like to think that maybe it did shave off a little time. I don't know. Probably not with Jared, because I was in labor with Jared for a week, and yeah, that's a really long story. But you're welcome. I will put in a warning before the vomit story.
I think my mayonnaise for me is cinnamon.
Cinnamon? What about cinnamon rolls?
Not like that kind of cinnamon, not the spice. I mean, like, you know, the
No.
like red hot cinnamon.
Oh, like the candy?
Yeah.
Just candy stuff? Oh, I love me some hot tamales, but it gives me sores on my tongue, and I always think, if I eat just one or two, I'll be fine. But then I want more, and then I end up with sores on my tongue. You don't like the taste of that?
I don't like the smell either.
Oh. My husband can't stand anything grape flavored. He'll eat green grapes, like real grapes, but he thinks grape soda, grape candy is disgusting. Tell us what is disgusting to you as far as food goes. You don't have to tell me that throwing up in the sink is disgusting, because I already know that.
I've done that before.
It was really horrible. I do not recommend, for obvious reasons. Okay, thanks for watching. Another random video for you while we all kill the time, right?